How's it going, everyone? It's Bomberman Dan, and today we're watching some more Starcraft 2 replays. Today's match is a best of 3 between KiWiKaKi, our red Protoss player, in the bottom left spawn, and EGPuMa, our blue Terran player, in the top right spawn. And I have to say, I am a Protoss player, and that's, you know, my thing. So I enjoy people like Huck and KiWiKaKi, and occasionally Naniwa and other players like that, and especially White Raw, other Protoss players, and I just like to watch what they do and, you know, see some of their sweet moves and stuff like that. But needless to say, I do like to watch, you know, all the other races. Puma is probably one of my favorite Terran players, and the little one who used to play Terran is now one of my favorite Zerg players and stuff like that. So, you know, I'm always looking for, you know, other players to look out for, especially like Terran and Zerg, even though I do play a little bit of Zerg in my spare time, not especially too much though. So anyhow, this is a best of 3, and this is our first match, and we do have KiWiKaKi going in for the probe scout after the first pylon, you know, trying to get in the scout before the wall off, which if you go a gateway or any other building beforehand, you can actually miss out on scouting a Terran player who does wall in rather quickly. And doing a little probe harass here, you know, keeping Puma on his toes, you know, always a good thing. Definitely trying to delay this barracks build. If you could snag that SCV while it's building, you can really set back a Terran player pretty far, and especially in these professional leagues, it could mean a lot. So KiWiKaKi having good micro on that probe, making sure the shields don't get down too far and making sure that it can fight when it needs to. We see KiWiKaKi throwing down a gateway and an assimilator. It's pretty standard so far, nothing too strange to look out for, nothing too unorthodox. We do have the wall in by Puma, who is going for a command center and does have one refinery up. So anything is pretty possible with EGPuMa's build. He is getting a Marine out just to, you know, take care of probes and stuff, scouting stuff. He's going to kill the supply depot, I guess for personal reasons. We do see KiWiKaKi snagging a second assimilator and going with the cybernetics core immediately after his gateway. And we'll be getting a zealot out pretty early just to, you know, ward off any zealots or any Marines or anything like that. And gets a second assimilator. We see Puma still macroing pretty hard, and we'll get a second command center as well as a reactor on the barracks, so we will probably see some Marine early expand here. So definitely getting a force of Marines pretty early to secure his expansion, because he does have a very close expansion right here that he will be able to take with a pretty sizable force. We do see KiWiKaKi getting out a sentry to help with a wall off here, you know, put a force field down, really keep them protected just in case any early cheeses happen. And we do see a robotics facility, so an early robo facility, definitely earlier than you mostly see, especially because we don't have any gateways and our cybernetics core is not actually being chrono boosted, so we are not worried too much. Oh, I guess we are about the warp gate technology. For Puma, we do have a bunker going down on the ramp to the main, and we have 2 more barracks, so definitely a 3 racks expand here, as well as a reactor to keep the Marines going, so we may see a couple tech labs on these barracks for Marauders for the Stalkers. And for KiWiKaKi, our robotics facility is almost done. We are getting a second gateway up to produce more gateway units. Another sentry, so we have some Stalkers and some, Zealots and some sentries, and we are going to push out this early observer so we can get a lot of good scouting in. Definitely earlier in the game, before Puma does have a chance to really have any sort of detection. He can scan, but at this point in the game he shouldn't, because that will take away from mules that he can produce, and that is pretty critical right about now, especially if you are going to expand. You're going to need all the minerals you can get to produce stuff like these Marines. And we do have 2 tech labs going down on the barracks for Marauders. We do see those coming out here soon. This probe, will it get away? And it will, so decent micro there by KiWiKaKi, and this observer is just going to scout around to see all it can. We do see an expansion going down for KiWiKaKi, so he's actually going to risk this without too much of an army. We did see a scan there by EGPuMa showing him what KiWiKaKi has in the main, and really how much did he see? He did actually see everything, so that is very unfortunate for KiWiKaKi that he did see all that, but he still does not know that this expansion is there. But we do have to watch out for KiWiKaKi because he does not have that much of an army, and he really could get taken out any second now by this Marauder Marine push. We do have the Orbital Command sitting nicely at its natural, ready to pump out SCVs and start mining. We do have a pretty good SCV transition. And continuing to pump out Marauders and Marines. So we'll see a Marauder Marine sort of push there. We have a Marine come around the backside from EGPuMa. Gonna scout this expansion, and he does! Ooh! Pretty bad timing there for KiWiKaKi. So this expansion has been spotted. So will Puma do anything? He will not. Seems to be sitting comfortably. I think Puma knows he is, because he doesn't have to worry too much. These Immortals really won't be doing too much this game right now. We really don't see any siege tanks or anything like that. So we do probably need to get more gateway units, or maybe get a robotics bay for some Colossus, because against Marine Marauder, Colossus is very helpful. KiWiKaKi is about fully mining at his natural, doing a good job of that. Still not a lot of production facilities, as we can see here. Just trying to really get into that area where he can sit comfortably on his two bases and continuously pump out pretty expensive units. And that's, you know, always ideal for a Protoss player, to be having a pretty good macro and just something you can really stay up on, you know, produce Colossus, produce Immortals if you have to, maybe Void Rays if you're going to transition to that, something like that. And we do see a gateway go down, as well as a forge and another gateway, so we will be getting more production facilities here to continuously pump out more units. As for supply goes, they are fairly even, and Puma does have this large army of Marine Marauders that is very sizable compared to KiWiKaKi's small army. These Immortals, again, aren't going to be doing too much, aren't very good against Marine and Marauder, but needless to say, that should do alright. So Puma sitting comfortably on his two base, almost fully mining there. We do have a starport down, so we can be getting medivacs, as well as this factory that will be getting a reactor, and we will be switching that with a starport so that he can make two medivacs at the same time. We also have some more barracks going down by Puma to continuously produce this Marine Marauder composition that he will probably be sticking with the rest of the game here. And it really is actually a very good composition of units, the Marine Marauder, and it is very good against, well, what we see in KiWiKaKi's, which is not a lot. These Immortals are only really good against stronger units, and against Marines, they really won't be doing too much. We do have a scouting factory going in, and we do need to warp in a lot more gateway units, something that can deal with these Marines and Marauders, and actually, we would really love to have, wait, is that a Robo Bay? Yeah, we really need to have Colossus at this point in time. Would be very helpful against this. It would really do a lot, especially if we could keep it alive, get a lot of shots off, and really do a lot of damage. And Puma is actually just going crazy on these upgrades. We have +1 weapons, +1 combat shield, stim, and just tons and tons of stuff. So Puma is actually producing a lot right now. So KiWiKaKi is now sitting on his two bases, and he needs to start pumping out a lot more units. We have extended thermal lances on the way in Colossus, and we actually see this medivac drop here that he does manage to spot. We have a nice warping of Stalkers by KiWiKaKi, and that is actually a really good play right there. You know, keeping all these observers on the field, so he has tons of vision, one there, and one there, and as well as these probes moving around. And just really gonna help, you know, show where his army is, you know, so his army doesn't get out of position, because something like that drop could have been extremely deadly for KiWiKaKi. Is doing a great job of preventing that. Also bought him some time to get this Colossus out, which is gonna be so helpful against this Marine Marauder push. The extended thermal lances will be helpful as soon as he gets more than one Colossus out. Colossus aren't very good really by themselves. I mean, they do a lot, but you're really going to need like 2 or 3 especially to really have that really good powerful push with Colossus. And KiWiKaKi's just going to have to make sure he doesn't leave his army out of position here, so that way he can really just do a lot of damage on this army. Puma scouting around, making sure KiWiKaKi hasn't got any hidden expansions off. We do have another command center going down to try to maybe expand to this expansion down here, or maybe even the high yield, which he cleared out earlier, which he would be able to pretty easily defend. We do have a lot of medivacs coming in, as well as ghosts and +1 armor by Puma. Ghosts are very helpful, especially with their EMPs against units, all Protoss units, because of the shield. You know, it takes out 100 shields, and basically actually kills like half of a unit off, because really Protoss units aren't very good without their shields. And we do have a third expansion, or yeah, a second expansion going down by KiWiKaKi, trying to snag this back here. Feeling pretty comfortable. We have a drop go down here that KiWiKaKi is able to move it, but he does get his army out of position, and he can't lose these units. Oh, KiWiKaKi, no! Oh, gosh, the Colossus goes down, no! Oh, and that's the good game. You know, you really can't lose all those Colossus like that so easily. So, there we go. EGPuMa wins the first game out of the best out of 3. So, thanks for watching, everybody, and don't forget to comment, rate, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys all later.